Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you, everybody? Hello, we are Tamriel Downunder. We are back again. I realise that we're not here that often, but we're here when the new stuff is. So,
We're here.
well,
Yep,
we're back
all the
again.
hype.
I am Icy. I think everybody here knows us, but we'll go through and introduce ourselves anyway. I'm Icy. I stream the Tamriel with Tamriel Downunder, the Elder Scrolls Online. Dacu.
Hey, I'm DacuTV, and yeah, I do all the stream things with the ESO and sometimes other games.
Map.
I'm mAplinator, and I sometimes occasionally do the stream things.
And Angry.
G'day. Well, I'm angry.
But she's not angry.
Not angry.
Not at all.
Can tell how angry she is.
Definitely.
Wait, if you say ScoMo, she might trigger her.
Oh.
Hey, Jackal. Tassaf, you are correct. I have been ill for some time now, and it's not really getting better, but we're getting there step by step. But no, I definitely am croaky. So, lots of exciting stuff came out today. Almost a year, actually, since Tamriel Downunder formed, because we
How cute
formed
is that?
to talk about like the elsewhere content
That's
from
right.
last year. So it's actually super, super cool that we're back again talking about the new stuff. So
Yeah, and as you can see, things look different on the channel.
yep. Super cool. Everybody's kind
Everything
of
looks
gear and
different.
stuff is getting cooler, and we're improving the quality of what we're doing. We've practiced a lot. It's actually, Taslav, it's amazing that it's been that long. I mean, PAX. I mean, we presented a panel at PAX, which is just like really
sure
pretty
did.
cool. So this year is going to be just as amazing, I am sure, and it's starting out with some seriously cool content for the Elder Scrolls. So I mean, I took notes. I don't know if again.
Oh, yeah, well, I couldn't
Of
hear
course I
him.
did.
Low
I took
key.
notes last year, but I thought I'd do it again. So yeah, we're going back to Skyrim. 40% of the zone is going to be underground in Blackreach. What did people think about that?
I like it.
I mean,
lot.
we've all played Skyrim, right? Like,
Yeah.
Morrowind was a different thing, but we've all played Skyrim and probably ridiculous
have you played
amounts
Skyrim?
of Skyrim.
Get out.
So, no, hang on, Aardvark. It didn't like something. What?
What did it say?
Like
Dwemer. Clearly it didn't like Dwemer.
I'm like, Black or Reach?
It didn't like Dwemer. God damn.
Anyway. No, okay. What? Okay, that was very strange. Anyway, Blackreach looked. I mean, they just had a bit of artwork, and it looked amazing.
my
with the
God.
mushrooms and the super underground stuff. Maybe we'll have Falmer as well. You would hope so, right? Like that would be very, very cool.
Well, mentioned, yeah.
So, yeah, let's talk. Quarter one. 2 new dungeons. We're talking the Ice Reach and the Unhallowed Grove. Any thoughts about the dungeons apart from the fact that we'll get to see them next week?
And Unhallowed Grove sounds really cool.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, it's
Just
kind
the
of
name.
like.
It was Grave. Oh, I fucking wrote that down wrong.
Is it? Oh no, is it
Grave.
Grave? Unhallowed Grave. Sorry, no, I can't read my
Is it?
own writing. You are correct, Angry.
Oh, okay. Lit.
Yeah, no, it's
Sorry,
my
we
writing.
knew what you meant.
One of them looked a lot like
Oh,
Hellra.
Jackal?
Like, I don't know which one it was, but it looked like it had the
Yes.
warriors from Hellra. Which one was
Yeah,
that?
that was the Unhallowed one. Yeah,
Okay.
there seemed to be a very strong. So it looked like that the Red Guard were the people who had been left to guard what was going, like guard the
And they fucked up.
grave,
Yeah.
and completely, utterly just stuffed up. Yep. So
They had one job.
Yeah, that's right. Love how he says that. They had one job.
Gotta love Finn.
Yeah, so Ice Reach also looks pretty cool. I mean, I would think that you will see us probably not this week, but the following week is a pretty good chance that we might stream. We
I'm
haven't
so
talked
down
about it
for it.
yet, but I would think
Yeah.
that you'll see us jump in and try out those dungeons as well. So do keep an eye on
Like we did
our
last
socials to work out when we're doing that. Probably everybody will all individually stream as well, maybe when it launches on PTS, because I would think that there will be drops for Stream Team channels on the day the PTS launches, and then probably for everybody on the weekend if they do the normal kind of thing. So and that's probably certainly on the website. It says that that's coming out in March, so maybe early March or late February for PC, and then Greymore, which has a scheduled PC release date of March 15. So that is so not far away. Like that's almost exactly 5 months. That's like nothing.
March?
So
March
yeah,
or May?
May 15. Sorry, May
I was gonna
15.
Oh, I was
say
gonna say like,
March.
Yep.
holy shit, we
You're
got
not
2
allowed-
months.
Not
The
allowed
other
to.
May, the other M1. So yeah, May 15. So that looks very, very interesting. Let's talk vampires. I mean, what do people think about the revamping of the vampires
Oh fuck.
skill line?
The
and
memes are gonna be
I just
too
had a
high
memory.
this year.
had to
Oh.
be said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't suck.
I
Uh,
like how they're gonna change the skill line of the vampire thingamajig and make it more viable for everybody. Because like when you had the skill line, you're only just having it for the passives for like PvP and just being a vampire and taking less damage and all of that. But now you can actually do like cool shit with it, and you know, it's shining a bigger light. And I think they're actually redoing the main quest as well. So
Good on you, Matt.
what happened? What the fuck? Oh my god. I was like, what the
I
fuck
completely
is he
forgot I
doing?
had these till someone just said vampire.
Oh my god.
And one of the cool things they're introducing too is just like with the Blade of Woe, little cinematics when you feed on people. That'll be fun.
Oh,
yeah, it's kill
like cut little
cam.
cutscene.
Yeah.
Kill
Yeah.
cam.
Kill
Oh, I did
cam
I
not
wonder
for
if it will
vampire
kill
feeding.
like Blade of Woe does, because when you feed now, it just pisses them off.
Which is annoying.
You might
Yeah.
be able to do like a
Hang on, I
timed
can't
attack
talk
for
with
it.
these in FYI.
Damn, we should have all
Hang on.
choreographed at the same time. Fuck. What if we play one of the DLCs with all of that in our mouths? That'd be fucking lit content.
They
That'd be
also
pretty
make
cool.
you drool, so yeah, maybe not.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, no,
We
thanks.
need to sell this content.
I just have to get real ones put in instead. So the active nature then of the vampirism changes. So it's in a way
More
it's
viable.
kind of interesting because it's kind of like ZeniMax has taken the opportunity to introduce a new skill line by just
That's
revamping an
revamped.
existing one,
Revamp.
which sort of feels like both not a shortcut, but perhaps a way of making their job easier in two ways, in that they don't need to invent something completely from scratch, but they also get to revamp a skill line so it works better with the rest of the skills they've slowly been tweaking and
Along with the
reorganizing,
main storyline too.
aligning
like
with the
that-
main storyline, aligning
Yeah.
with the other newer
It's like they
sets of
did it on
skills.
purpose.
So it's quite interesting. So
Now we need a werewolf skill line and werewolf DLCs next year. Thank you.
Didn't we just
look,
redo all
I
those?
mean, we
There is
don't
a
know
werewolf
what's
DLC.
coming for quarter 3 and quarter 4.
No.
Well,
Like,
werewolves all
not to
got
say
buffed.
that they wouldn't redo werewolf, but perhaps they might tweak the werewolf so it's more active as well. It is pretty active already, I guess, but
In
Well, that's the
Skyrim
thing, like,
alone,
yeah. Vampire's really been like, it's like Finn said on the stream, it's been just basically for that regen passive
Mhm.
and a couple of extra perks in PvP.
The sneak passive, yeah.
No one
And
does
people are
vampire
talking about like,
builds.
oh well, let's revamp werewolf at the same time, but I feel like some of those people forget that not that long ago werewolf did get a complete revamp. Maybe not as extremely, but I feel like werewolf was more useful to begin with than vampire when they revamped it. But when they released the Moonhunter Keep and March of Sacrifices, the werewolf themed kind of dungeons, they did go back and completely rework a lot of the werewolf skills and balance them better. And we did see a lot more people running werewolf for a time. So werewolf's in a much better place than vampire at the moment in terms of feeling like it actually makes a difference to the way that you play.
The werewolf just walked behind you too.
I guess it was more like a passive change, not like a outlined, hey, we're doing this type of thing and shedding more light on it compared to like what the vampire thing's happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's pretty interesting. And so replacing the ulti with the new vampire lord form.
The vampire
Thoughts?
was like, fuck yes.
But see, but Bat Swarm is a cool ability though.
That sounds
I'll be
good.
sad to see
Well,
that go.
I'm interested. Will they replace
Or
it
is it gonna be a
entirely?
morph?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, can they
Yeah.
replace it entirely? You just
Mm.
saw the bat swarm in the trailer.
Yeah, it's true.
Like they were totally using like the guy used the bat swarm
Yep.
to escape. It's like it's got to be there, but yeah, perhaps
Unless
you've
it
got
becomes an
an
ability
alternate
rather.
It's like the Necro one as well, where he turns into the big
well,
Goliath.
here's the thing. We're all talking like there's one skill line for the vampires. Who's to say they don't actually have the 3 separate, tanking, healing, DPS lines that they do for any of the class skills?
Yeah, but they
Have
haven't
more than one
really
ultimate.
done that in any sort of
Like,
optional thing yet. Like
Don't.
werewolf and
Well, this is the thing. We don't they don't have to limit it to 5 skills and 1 ulti. It could be 15 skills and 3 ultis.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm envisioning.
Then it sounds like a
could be.
class. Now we're
Yeah.
talking about a vampire class.
Could be.
I'm
like they're talking
envisioning
about
either a
reworking maybe.
vampire and a master vampire as 2 different skill lines, or they just change the morphs on the vampire one to add in the extras.
Or if you reach like level 10 of the vampirism, like you gain that specific ultimate. Like you have to level to become like the
Yeah, maybe.
vampire lord or something. I don't know. That'd be cool. You have to actually work
Yeah.
for it rather than just, get level 5 like in Sigic or something like that. That'd be cool.
The Dwemer are like the dinosaurs to us, almost.
Yeah, the Dwemer have kind of perhaps in an
Extinct a long
alternative
time.
plane of existence or something. But yeah, even in ESO, the Dwemer are no longer there. So Lyris Titanborn.
Gosh, she's
is
so
back.
hot.
Yay.
Holy shit.
Look, I've already shared my feelings about Lyris.
Where? Did I like it? I don't know.
No, on a previous stream, I'm sure I discussed that.
Oh, the relationship with Sahan
yeah.
and Lyris. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's very
Poo-pooing them.
Yeah, look, she's just, I'm skeptical when Finn says that she's going to be useful in those dungeons. I've yet to see Lyris be useful,
Yeah.
except as a sacrifice.
Oh my god.
Whoa! It's just a line of the community.
Finn, don't watch. It's okay. Look away.
Oh, dear.
But it was
Sorry,
cool.
just
It was
keep
cool,
an eye
it was
on
cool to
chat.
see her in the trailer. It was cool.
It was cool to see her in the trailer.
Yeah.
Though, the animation of her looked
jeez.
amazing.
Wow, yeah, they keep
Like-
outdoing themselves with the cinematic
They do.
trailers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's nice to see those characters become a little less stiff.
And real.
Because as in-game NPCs, they are inevitably a little bit stiff. So it's nice to see them animated in a more
soft. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a bit more character. Like we've already seen that with Abner
Not
and
hard.
Sai in the
Limp.
Elsewhere trailers. So it's nice to see Lyris get the same treatment.
Yeah, it's nice to say hello, kind
I
of
think they
for
really
real.
started doing those trailers of like since probably Somerset. I think they really started to outdo themselves with the cinematics.
Yeah, they're
But the
absolutely
cinematics,
amazing.
the original cinematics are still really good.
Yeah,
They are, yeah. And
But the
I very much
attention
enjoy how
to
those
detail.
characters from the original cinematics
coming
as the
back.
player stand-ins still keep coming back. Like we've got the
Yeah.
Nord with his
Oh my
helmet
God.
and his horn knocked off, yeah,
Yeah.
coming in, which is
What a
really
flex. Thanks, Icy.
cool. Yeah, sorry.
We're the Khajiit now.
Yeah, Digital Kitty, Rick and Morty went to another dimension and just brought them across, the ones that weren't sacrificed.
Oh, of course.
So,
Before we move on, Icy, just wanted
Yeah,
to
go for it.
bring attention to the bar at the top of the screen.
yes.
Even though we have a nice snow theme Tamriel Downunder right now to go along with Skyrim, we do still have a heat wave across many parts of Australia, and the bushfires are still burning. And we are, along with WWF, extending the the campaign to help
Mhm.
rebuild habitat for the koalas and other wildlife. And there's a clip that I put on Twitter if you want to go and look at it. They had a conservation expert in there that listed off 10 species, 3 of those species
Yes.
being koalas, because there's different species of koala that are now pushed to the edge of extinction or further because of the fires. So if you would like to donate, we have the link below in the panels. And what's the command in chat, Icy?
Charity. I'm gonna
Exclamation point charity. We'll give you the details.
Thank you, Angry.
Yes, but yeah, there's a link in the panels as well below that you can click. And also, as per the last time we streamed, I can't see what the total is there. When we hit, like, if we hit that limit,
252.
252,
yeah.
27.
So if we hit the is it?
What's 350 there?
It's 350 there.
Oh.
So if we hit that, there is still that crown code, crown pack that we can give away as well. So still have that. So if we hit it, we can give it away. So
hit it.
Hit it, baby. Donate hard.
Oh wow. That's the
Save
stuff.
the koalas. Yeah.
Save the koalas, be lewd.
Save the koalas. Yeah, exactly. Riggett's back.
Oh
I
jeez.
can't wait to see Riggett's story, to be honest. I really want to see what happens for Riggett. Actually, I would love it if they made him more than simply comic relief. I would love to see some actual
Like a
proper
quest.
backstory. Oh, digital aardvark. Excuse me?
There's the door.
Rigget the Brash? Rigget the Brash has been in every expansion. You can find him. If you've not talked to Rigget the Brash, you can go find him. Oh, okay. You do know. Okay, fine. Anyway, go talk to him in Deshaun. Start
You
your
can always
invasions.
just Google him too and
This guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would actually love it if there was, like, he actually had some proper backstory there. You know?
Or even
He's-
joined in on a quest or something like that you're doing.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. I was outraged.
Naked
Digital
North
Aardvark.
meme,
I
perhaps.
thought better of
That would
you.
be fun.
The troll-lols.
Troll-lols. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk the artifacts and antiquities. The new system that's being built into the game. What do people think? So it's not a combat. Well, sorry, it has some advantages for combat and for PvP, but it is not a. Yeah, it is not a
Combat
combat
or
system
quest
at all.
related. Yeah.
It's
the biggest thing since housing, quote unquote.
Yeah. Well, it's...
yeah, I'm curious. I really feel like I'm
was-
going to need a lot more information before I get
excited.
can really get excited about it one way or the other. I'm still not really clear on exactly why I would want to do it, except for the satisfaction of uncovering and finding things. Like they're talking about the bonuses being quite strong, and some of them are not combat related, but I think some of them will be.
Yeah, well, there was a necklace and a chest Finn was talking about, I think.
Yeah, as an example.
So I'm curious to see how that kind of plays out. And in a way, I like the idea of kind of going back to that Elder Scrolls feel of having a particularly unique item, like the Daedric artifacts.
And the claws and all that, in Skyrim.
Which is a little bit more special, even the monster sets were kind of like that for a while, but now there are so many monster sets and they're so easy to come by. They've kind of lost that feeling of being special. But at the same time, if it's this, super rare item, but it's best in slot, for a particular build, then, every magic source running this unique item and it's not going to feel quite as special anymore. So
Evil Citizen.
More information.
Oh, Evil, thank you very much.
Evil.
I'm very curious.
Rich said in the post show that question was actually brought up with color blindness and having to match colors. And no, Rich said very clearly, no, it's both its colors and or shapes, but they are taking color blindness into effect when they're designing the scrying puzzle. So it should be awesome.
Hi,
No, sweet
Noel, sweet Noel.
Jump with Discord, mate.
What's going on? How's it going on, mate?
It's so it should be good. But Map, I can see you there going, I'm not sure. But are you the person who's managed to get almost every single achievement on one character?
Well, that's the
they've
thing.
suddenly given you a whole bunch more.
That's the thing. It's gonna be another grindy tick list, is what it's going to be. So I
feel like I might be related to like Sijic,
Let's-
just how that grind was type of thing?
I don't think so.
Well,
No,
it's
I think
exploring.
in the post show, one thing Finn said it's like fishing but in dirt, and
Yeah,
that seems
Yeah.
very that
Yep.
seems
And
it's kind of
and
like fishing.
there's a big
plus.
question for me around the RNG, if there is RNG, because fishing obviously
Mm.
has a large RNG component,
Mm.
which
Pool,
makes
yeah.
it kind of more frustrating. Whereas there's achievements for each of the
Areas?
chapters, and also Hrothgar, which is almost comparable to a chapter.
Yes, I mean
It's sort of
yeah,
the chapters follow the
totally
same
chapter.
formula. You know, so like the museum in Hrothgar, there's a list of like stolen items from the Sijic vaults in Somerset. So there's no RNG to it at all. You simply go out and find the items.
Mm.
But then obviously with that comes the guides, and then it's not challenging. You just, you know, X marks the spot. You just go where the guide tells you. So I'm curious to see how they balance making these things hard enough to come by, and if there's going to be RNG, and you know, where does it sit between fishing? You just find a hole, which is really easy, and then you just fish until you get the fish that you need.
Yeah.
Versus these specific items that have specific locations, but once they've been discovered, everyone knows exactly where to go.
Well, there is one other thing that you could compare to it, and this is personally, I loved doing the Litany of Blood. I absolutely loved that, because while they were in that area, they weren't specifically right in a single spot that was easy to find. They would either be previously killed and waiting to spawn, or be walking around the area. I really loved doing Litany of Blood, but so many people complained about it. But I had a lot of fun with it.
I thought, I think that would be a good
the Litany of Blood got
comparison.
frustrating when it was you only had 1 or 2 names left to go for the achievement, and you were constantly rolling the dice to see if you would get those particular names. And again, it came down to the RNG. It wasn't so much the challenge of completing the task, it was the challenge of getting assigned the right task by the computer. But up until that point, I agree. Litany was a nice balance between kind of knowing where you were supposed to go, but still having to actually, you know, complete the task off your own skill, I suppose.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's talk the new trial. New trial. Kynes Aegeus.
Kynes Aegis,
which Aegis, which is set on an island to the north of Skyrim in the sea. Look, I think there is some seriously cool lore stuff going to go on there, because the point is, you know, it's the shield against invaders from the north. Like, who invades Skyrim from the north? Isn't that the Taeski? Don't they invade from the north in lore? Like, lore people, speak up now. Isn't that how, like how does that work? Like, this could be really
White
interesting.
Walkers, I'm gonna call it.
White Walkers.
Definitely White
White
Walkers.
Hawkers.
We've got some dead dragons that can raise.
Fucking dragons. They're gonna come back. Ice dragons. Oh my god.
It's just going to be
Spoiler
Hawkers.
alert.
It's a whole trial of giant
It's
Hawkers.
fucking Walkers.
Don't know evil.
And then the Ice Kings as like bosses and shit. I love it. Oh yeah, we've figured it out. Clearly.
Have any of you
Absolutely,
purchased
yes.
pre-order? I've purchased both the digital collector's edition and the physical, because I'm hardcore.
I have not done either yet, even though they were.
No, I haven't done either.
Pretty hard during the stream. Hey, by the way, guys, it's on pre-order now. It's on,
You
but
can spend your money right now.
Yeah, you know, stop the stream. Go buy our DLC. You know?
We'll just wait while you go and buy it.
We'll wait.
But wait, order in the next 15 minutes.
The 10% off Bethesda store,
We'll throw
guys.
in a set of steak knives.
I felt like they pushed it almost a bit too much. I don't know.
This is daytime television ads.
Yeah. The next
Hello,
5
Alan,
minutes.
as well. Look, I think there is a point to pre-ordering the physical copy, because there's only going to be so many made, unless you absolutely want them out now, or if you don't already own a copy of Elder Scrolls Online. I don't think there's a lot of point pre-ordering, really. Like, if you don't already own, if you don't own Elder Scrolls and you want to get in, absolutely pre-order pre-order Greymoor, because it's going to give you all the previous versions. You can start questing now. You can get into it. But if you already own the game, unless you want the physical copy, it's probably
Kitty and
Not
Arvak donated $15 for the small
thank you very much,
creatures.
Kitty and Aardvark, for the koalas.
For
Yeah, if
the
you've got the other thing is,
small
if you've got the cash
creatures.
now and you want to reserve it, totally, just go for it. But yeah, I don't think you need to
There's
pre-order.
no rush. You could
There's no
pre-order
rush
right
with
at the
the
last
pre-order.
minute
If
and
you
still
already
get the
own the game
bonuses.
Yeah,
and you're not
like the
getting
day
physical,
before, you could do that.
you can do the day before. Yeah, you're not getting the physical copy. There's no rush. You can do it anytime you like, basically. So they will, of course, use any money. Pre-orders are good for the company in that it helps them plan
Ahead with
the
funding.
launch. It helps
Yeah.
them work out how many people are going to be interested in the game, like a whole bunch of stuff. So it's good for them as
Almost
well.
like
but,
a statistic, that they base it off.
when I went through, I mean, I looked at the Australian purchasing options.
Oh,
There was certainly a link to the Steam store for things. I didn't actually go into the Steam store and look because I just buy ESO directly through the ESO store. So yeah, but it's certainly for the Australian side, it's all active. So,
and that's
and I'm
bloody
assuming for the US as well.
Australian.
hmm
That's
Yeah, so
something.
costs price-wise, it's $250 for the physical upgrade.
Australian.
God, that's a stinger. Woo.
And that's the physical collector's edition upgrade.
Yep.
So it's pricey.
If you pre-order,
That's
it's
an
a
EB.
$50 pre-order. And then
€50,
the
yeah, and
rest
it's
on
through
things.
EB now, EB Games now, if you're in Australia. So I've only got the Australian prices. Okay, so the digital collector's edition, which is the full game, so that includes all of the previous expansions, and you don't need a previous copy, is $130. The digital collector's upgrade, so you must already own ESO, is $83. The standard full game, which will include Greymoor, but not the extra collector's stuff, but it does also include the previous chapters, is $100 right now. And the standard upgrade is $60. So which is comparable to the previous prices. So your cheapest option is you already own ESO and you just want the standard upgrade, and that'll cost you $60. So which is the same as elsewhere. So
Yep.
so the only thing, I mean, I understood why they didn't do a collector's edition previously, because it just was hassle. Because
Yep.
the problem if you get previously when you got the physical collector's edition is the release date is the 2nd, and EB Games doesn't hand it over to you
On the 2nd.
on May 15th, and so you've got 2 weeks before you can play. And so there's this whole thing with PC where it's like, no, I got to show you my physical copy of the receipt so that you can unlock the thing so that you can play early, and which was basically, I think, like a
Warren
massive
did that,
amount
yeah.
of like
Unnecessary.
hassle,
Yeah.
hassle and grief, and customer service issues. And they kind of went,
through
no,
that.
it's just, we'll just let people buy the statue if they want. And it's interesting that people didn't just want to buy the statue. No, they really
No, I really did.
desperately wanted a collector's edition, which is kind of like, but if you've got all the bits, can't you just go to the shop and just buy the bits? No,
Buy
you're
the bits.
gonna have
buy
them
the
in a
bits.
box. Okay, alrighty.
I
So
wanted the statue. The postage was ridiculously expensive. Because you could only
Gotcha.
order it from
Yeah.
the US.
Yeah.
If I could have bought it
That's
in
the
a
thing.
local
If you
store,
could
I
just
would
That's
pop
have
true.
done
down to
better.
EB Games
yeah,
and
that's
buy it,
true.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm
Yeah.
better off getting the Greymoor physical collectors because I got everything else. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, if you want the physical stuff,
Yeah.
then the
But I
physical
already got the base
collectors,
game. I got
it's an
Morrowind, Summer
upgrade,
set.
and you already own it. Yep, that's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Yeah, but there are big warnings on the EB website when you go in that says, yeah, this is an upgrade only. If you do not own the base game, you must buy
Yeah.
the base game additional cost, which is like, okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah. They said before there was an issue with the PS4 pre-orders. I don't know if that's been resolved yet.
Yeah, they're not
I
available
believe
yet.
the digital, so digital pre-orders
Not available.
Obviously, the Sony is mucking up, but if you are looking at the physical copy, no, that is actually on the EB
Oh,
Games website. So you can, if you want the physical PS4 copy, no, it's there for you. So
Okay.
at least in Australia. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, look, no, I love the coins. I don't want another statue.
I want all the things.
Look, shut up,
I want
Icy, alright? We know you want the
Sorry.
Nord statue.
Yeah. It's like, I got a Nord one. I don't need anything else.
I've just
I
got
got
too
a
many
Nord one.
statues. It's such a
I
burden.
do. Look, no, I've got my Skyrim
really
dragon.
reckon?
I
You
do have
really
my
reckon?
Skyrim dragon. I have my Fala. I have my Nord statue. I've run out of room. I don't need any more. Thanks.
Wow.
There's no such
Low-key.
thing as run out of room for statues. I'm like looking around at the shelves
I've
on either
missed the
side of my
Somerset
screen.
You've got
There are,
heaps of room.
there are
Yeah.
statues,
I want it
um,
all. I have.
Nah.
but I need
I've
more.
I have
got
shelving
all
to
my
fill. Damn it.
shelves, both sides,
Yeah.
and these, and right in the middle there, I'm going to put a
You're gonna have to
big,
get some
like
more.
6x2 cube thing to put more
Like
stuff
this
on.
guy. He would look great there, Dacu.
Do you
He
have
would
his
look
consent
fabulous.
for doing that,
Wow.
Icy?
Well, I was going
It's
to
just his knee.
Well, you know,
Just
we've all
padding his
already
knee.
do that
Oh,
one.
you heard it here first, guys. You don't need
Technically,
consent
He's
if it's
got
just
armor
for
on.
me.
He's got armor on. It's perfectly protected.
Was it signed?
Well, I was going to fill that blank space in
anyway.
the middle with the AD flag, just for all of you.
We were talking.
Wow.
Oh yeah,
We
we've
were
got
talking about
sidetracked.
the trial.
Yes.
So the trial.
I don't know how we
So
distracted.
Finn specifically said, what do you call it? He didn't call them trash. He called them base pop.
Yeah.
Base population. They're not really going to be skippable and pulled together, and you won't be able to
Stack
walk
and
over
smash.
them.
Yeah.
Stack and smash is not necessarily going to be an option. It sounded like it would be a similar size to Sunspire, but it's not. You can't kind of go either way and do either one. It's just like, no, it's you do this guy, this guy, this guy, and fight through in order. So interesting.
Yeah, not like Sunspire where you had a choice to go to one boss first. It's all straight linear. Yeah.
To be honest,
I like
like
that better.
nobody does. Everybody does it the same way now, anyway. It's kind of like it was nice of them to give a choice, but ultimately,
Yeah, it's true. It's always ice boss
everybody does
first.
ice boss first.
Fuck, I always do the
so-
flame boss first.
It's-
Shit. Well, I'm not meta.
No, because you do the ice boss first, and then you will suicide in after the fire boss, and you don't have to do that stupid room with holes in the floor.
Yeah, but then on the ice boss, you're gonna jump off the cliff, you know?
I've literally never seen that room.
Me neither.
Yeah, never.
With the holes in the floor.
Oh,
because
with the ice room?
Wow.
Because everybody
Yeah.
just jumps in the water, dies, and
Yep.
goes back to the start. And
Yeah.
does the last boss.
I reckon he did probably, Mish. I mean, look, yeah, it's kind of like it's okay to have different trials that do different things. So I think it's fine to have a trial that you can shortcut sections of. That's perfectly okay. And if they go, no, but we don't want this one to have any shortcut sections, yeah, that's fine. And if people find it annoying, ultimately they just won't do that one very often. Which is, but it doesn't sound like it's going to be a massively long trial anyway. Because like I'd love to do Halls of Fabrication more, but it's so long.
Yeah.
And there are definitely a few sections in there where it's the same thing again and again, where it's like, no, we've already done this kind of combat a couple of times now. Why do we do
Hashtag
this one again?
40-minute speed run.
Meh.
So anyway, so that sounds interesting. So that, yeah, new trial. Really looking forward to the new trial. Actually,
We
Should
didn't
be
get much
awesome.
on it, to be honest. We didn't really get
No.
any other details. I guess the same with
It's-
the
yeah,
DLC.
It's patch notes. I mean, patch notes will be Monday, probably. It's really not that long, so we should see heaps of stuff shortly. So,
Okay.
And more
Uh,
at E3.
and
So,
more at E3. second
yes,
half,
the
yeah.
second half. So with the trial and the two dungeons, are they coming out on the one DLC or are they going to be spread out?
No, yeah. So dungeons will be quarter 1, and
Okay.
trial will be part of Greymoor in quarter 2.
So that'd be June 2nd would be the.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah.
Alright.
So there's May 15 for PC, June 2nd for console. So
All right, now when I'm booking
Uh,
leave.
yeah, yeah, right. Kind of.
I will not leave my room. Uber Eats.
Pretty much.
I can't get it.
So
That sucks.
there were new crafted sets that were mentioned. One interesting thing that was mentioned: crafted sets in Cyrodiil.
Pong? I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was on the post show.
Oh.
Somebody mentioned that there would be crafted sets in Cyrodiil. Didn't say what quarter, but that was kind of interesting.
Looks
When
like
there
I
are
gotta collect
sets
more
that
tables.
come from Cyrodiil, when you get
Yeah,
the
no, it was specifically said
coffers.
crafted though.
Okay, so like actual
So
crafting
adding
tables.
crafting areas.
Adding
Yeah.
crafting tables.
PvP,
in
you could just
Citadel.
hold that and like kill people.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Unless you
No,
do like
I
a
don't.
kill zone,
But with the
maybe.
tunable crafting sessions, I feel like that's very quickly going to become like not an issue.
Oh, yeah.
It could be like
They'll
a
just.
neutral
I mean,
zone.
depending on what the sets are, obviously the sets themselves might be interesting, but the fact that they're in Cyrodiil, I feel like is not that important.
No.
See, that would be interesting
I mean,
as
there's
well.
one
If,
in
for
IC
example,
already.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a few in IC out there.
Yeah. When was the last time anyone went to Imperial City to craft something?
Yeah,
Me.
true.
It's in my guild house.
Yeah, pretty much. Once
Exactly.
somebody activates it. The antiquities. So one of the antiquities that are available is a siege weapon for Cyrodiil, which is interesting, and all antiquities are bound as well, so you can't farm for it and then sell it off. But I do wonder whether the place you actually need to go digging for antiquities for the siege weapon is actually in Cyrodiil. That would be
That would make sense.
It would make sense. It would be fun as well. That'd be a really
Yeah.
interesting sort of.
Imagine the
way.
Volundran like right next to it, and then everyone's like trying to find an artifact. Oh, God. It'd be chaos.
Oh, you just catapult in a devoted fan from Oblivion and follows you around and annoys you.
Oh, of course. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Well, one thing that popped up. Hello, G-Man, and hello, Kevin on.
Oh, fuck! That scared me. God, I'm watching the stream.
Oblivion in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Just spike
Sorry,
up my.
I'm looking because I can't read, so I've got to look down.
Allow that.
Mount you, yeah, we definitely want that into it.
I think Mount.
Climb aboard, no.
Definitely.
That looked
Mount
awesome.
you. Oh, Mount you got banned. Nice. Right.
Noel, you're here with those lewd comments. Gee.
It looked awesome. It looked like a dwarven sort of constructed wolf thing.
Oh,
it looked
fuck.
pretty.
Yeah, and you have to find the pieces.
And you
as
need to
well.
find the pieces for antiquities. Yeah. So
Man,
look,
if it was
that's
like 16, that'd be fun as shit,
totally would like to get that one.
Oh yeah.
The wolves are my favorite mount actually in ESO. They have the best
mine
animations.
too.
Yeah, they're lovely. Just like you, Angry.
That could be tell. Oh.
Yeah, they weren't sure, Kitty, on whether that was going to be all at once or in pieces.
I think they were unsure. They thought, they were unsure on the stream and the post show. They thought it might have been in pieces. Yeah, so you probably
It'd be cool if it was in pieces.
I like the idea of pieces.
I like the idea of pieces.
Like,
I think you got to
it's
do
like
it.
a dwarven type of mechanical wolf, so it's not like you're just taking chunks of meat and putting it together. You're actually putting metal together.
Yeah, that's right. I actually
Like
disagree
Frankenstein.
with the fact that the bits are be bound. I think they should be. I think it should be.
I think
on the market.
tradable.
I think it should totally should be.
Kind of like
No, I actually think it should be sellable. I really think that because it
for the mount
totally
though.
gives.
For a mount.
Just for the mount, because the problem with
maybe not the
making it
mount.
sellable is that it's part of the antiquities system. So I feel like either all the antiquities have to be tradable or none of them.
Well, the mount maybe not because it can be sort of it's fragments. You uncover a fragment, it unlocks the fragment.
Yeah, but it's part of that system.
Yeah. Look, no, I think it could be fully tradable as well. I'd actually prefer that. I mean, if you think about it, when you're in like the public dungeon in Vardenfell and you're searching for the bits to make the pieces to make, or the kittens or the the little dwarven things, they're all tradable.
But you can get multiples of those as well. Like once you've dug up an antiquity, are you going to be able to dig it up again? I'm assuming not, because it's supposed to be like an item.
Well, maybe if it's a housing item, perhaps you can get multiples. Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels very much like a collectible, like one-off kind of thing to me. I'm happy for them to be bound. And then the people that are riding around on those mounts, that they actually did the work and dug them up. They didn't just buy them from the guild store.
Yeah, that's what people like to show off. That look what I did.
Yeah.
I earned this.
But it's like with skins too. You just get skins purely to show off, obviously. Not because how good they look. It's like, I did this shit. I did this.
Even then, you can pay someone a lot of gold to lay dead on the ground while 11 people do the work for you.
Get that backpack, boy.
Yep.
So,
I mean, that's if you're really desperate for it.
And is it Labyrinthians?
Or really rich.
Labyrinthians meant to be a public dungeon?
Yes, that's right. So that was one of the big kind of dungeony kind of areas in Skyrim. So yeah, that's one of the new public dungeons, and the other one that was mentioned was, look at my notes. What was it?
You got more notes than me, and I was actually
Shadow
paying
Green?
attention this year. Crazy.
I was not. It was
Yeah.
6 in the morning. I was just awake.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would have been.
That was
9
all I
or
could
12.
manage.
So you can
I
manage.
watched the trailer and then listened to the rest while I drove home.
And the post-show was really
Oh,
choppy
okay.
for me. It was like kept stopping and starting, which is distracting.
Oh yeah, no,
I
it was all good.
had a meeting at
It
work
was
right
good
in the
for
middle
me.
of it. I'm like, you know what? I don't need this job.
Ooh, the stream froze for me.
gonna-
Is that on my end? I don't know.
Gonna have to
Ooh.
read through my old trusty Skyrim everything book, so and have a look so I can remember all of the bits where they were.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got like
Just
like
on
maps
Tezel's comment
for all
there,
of
he's
the
saying
things.
about the public dungeons, he wishes they were a bit more challenging. I do agree on that. And one of the things that I did pick up near the end of the stream was that when they were talking about the puzzles for revealing locations of the antiquities, they're like, yeah, we've made it so it's accessible for everyone. So I read into that it's going to be dumbed down, so it's going to be fairly easy.
Yes, I would think that the antiquity stuff will be for anybody. So I would also think that there, like, I don't
Puzzles
know,
may
maybe
be
there'll be
simple.
antiquities inside dungeons, inside harder content as
cool.
well. That would be
Yeah.
cool. That'd be really cool.
I was more thinking about real. They were talking about doing those puzzles, color shape matching stuff, and I was like, well, that could be a good
They
challenge.
said the puzzles wouldn't be difficult.
Yeah. Why?
Well, the
I need some
scrying
difficult
bit,
stuff.
so that's the bit that you need to do the scrying. So presumably you can do that at the start when you walk into the dungeon before the actual content is activated. And then you can use the map that you generate to actually find the spot inside the dungeon if that's an option. So one thing I would say is yeah, I don't think public dungeons will be harder. I think they'll be about the same level because and Rich brought it up a couple of times when he was talking, was if you want to play ESO as a solo player, yeah, go for it. You won't have a problem. So I really think that the public dungeons won't really be harder. And I guess the other thing is, like, we've all been playing for, I think most people here have been playing for
84
quite a
years.
while. 84 years. Angry.
Oh, round about you, roughly.
He's aging really, really well. A bit of
I
vampirism.
am.
Well,
there.
don't drop your false teeth, Angry Wolf.
Fuck. You fucking falsies are gonna fly out.
So stuff gets easier in time, and actually, if I play on a non-DPS character, of which I have many, it's like I can't solo a public dungeon on like most of my characters. Only
On the
one or
tank?
two I could
Yeah, no.
actually solo a public dungeon on. So I think that's okay. Hello, Clint. How are you?
I can solo it slowly on my tank wheeler.
Well, eventually, if you keep spamming bloody talons. For me, at least.
It does damage, right? So
It does. It
Puncture
does.
does damage.
My heroic slash does about 4k damage. So yeah.
Fair. That's wise advice, Mish.
False.
Wise advice.
What are they? Please enlighten
Mish,
us.
tell us later, okay?
Well, I don't
Chicken
know what it is. I'm 12. Remember?
Chicken fillets. No.
Chicken.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Let's just leave that.
Angry Wolf doesn't know what chicken fillets are either.
Oh, well, chicken now.
Just false breasts, implants, falsies.
Oh, chicken
Put your-
boobies. Right, I got
Put
you.
your falsies in. Yep. Chicken fillets is another way of thing you call them in Australia.
I did
We
not
definitely
know.
don't want
You know
those
that?
falling
They're
out.
the little ones you slip in underneath, like you just buy in the the little bits
Oh.
of. Yeah. Now she knows.
Stick
No,
on,
I got you now.
stick on boobies.
Basically.
Wait,
Yes.
if
basically.
females can
Do they go underneath?
stuff those into no, never mind.
Yeah.
For boobies? Your boobies? Sure.
I think he's talking a little.
Don't
lower
talk
down.
about sock stuffing. There's nothing wrong with it now.
Your boobies, of course. Yes.
Let's move on, shall we?
Everyone loves to
Yes,
complain
let's-
boob.
As much as I would love to talk about this.
This is the content everybody really wants, though.
I know, right? I know.
Tamriel Downunder After Dark.
Who mentioned
Thunder
it's
Down
gonna
Under,
be
is it?
It's time.
Look, if you did not catch
Gina.
Ninja 614's, if you did not catch Ninja 614's
I didn't. I'm
post stream,
disappointed.
Gina comes on for a while, and I would recommend you go and watch the VOD.
Yeah, do
Yes, I
that.
would.
Do that. That's a good
Before it
idea.
gets deleted potentially. Download it. Fuck.
It's perfectly fine, but it's pretty
Make
funny.
all the
So
clips.
yeah, Gina is amazing. Yes, and does absolutely amazing
Damn,
work.
what was I
for
think I went
ESO.
back to farming on ESO. Like as soon as the after show was over, I'm like, okay, we're done. Oops.
So, but I just wanted to say for the quality of the presentation that was put on, it was amazing. It was so smooth. Like,
The attention to
sort of
detail
like
of the stage was
between
incredible.
Pete and Rich, it was fantastic. Like, it was
Yeah.
so professional. It worked really, really well.
I wanted to touch the trees low key. I don't know why. I just had the urge to touch the fake trees at the stage.
But
I don't know.
it just looked phenomenal, and the post
Unless
show as
they were
well
real.
was really good. Got all of the right kind of information. So
Plus
it
the
was
input of
great.
fellow streamers as well, asking, you know,
Mhm.
the streaming related, you know, not
Yep.
streamer related questions, but just the community
Yep.
related questions. Yeah. That's
Mhm.
always good to have.
I think it was great. I know. Why stick him in pants? Like, we could have seen the tat. It was just he didn't need to wear pants.
He was serious because he's wearing pants. Like, that's crazy.
I know, right?
Speaking on that topic, so the tattoo was from the community challenge of last year, and this year was the community challenge was to unlock the long-winged bat pet. So log into the game and kill at least one monster, and you'll unlock that. Because we did achieve that. We didn't quite achieve the viewership for the snow bear plunge, but they vowed to
But they're
do
gonna
it
do it
anyway.
Which is pretty good.
It's like I'm really gonna do it anyway. But yay, we're doing it.
Uncle Pete and Rich, and I don't know who else, but
Whoever they
I don't
can
know.
conjure up and bribe, I guess.
Maps
I really hope it's Finn.
You know, if they ask, of course we'll go. Of course, Gina.
I mean, look, if somebody wants to pay for my flights to the US and a hotel,
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
certainly
I would totally
consider
do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Not
I'll take a dip.
problem.
Remember Australia, so we don't like the cold. It's all right.
God, I can't stand the cold. Anyway, that's fine. So any other comments that anybody has about the cool new stuff coming for this year? Oh, actually, one other thing.
One more thing.
ESO is going to be localized in Russian, like text only at this stage.
Oh, cool.
But that's actually
no, that's actually a
community
kind of a good idea.
is so strong that they've decided to do that. So
Oh yes, the subtitles and all that. Yeah, the dialogues. I think that's cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
nice.
that's really
They're
cool.
well established enough to actually get
There
that.
is one other thing that was touched on quite a bit, and part of it's already started in the update that just came in yesterday. Is the performance improvements, and one of the things that I'm most looking forward to. Partly because I like things to perform better, and secondly because I love shutting down forum trolls who won't stop whinging about it. It's great. So performance improvements come in memory management, which was implemented previously. Now it's going to move into having a better core utilization. So use multiple cores and threads on your system to help with performance and frame rate. So that was
coming later. Was that coming Q2 though?
I think the next one, Q2, isn't that when they're doing the size reduction?
No, that's Q1, I think.
That's Q1. So
Q1 is the size, yeah. So it's the size reduction, I think. So and the patch that went out just yesterday apparently was a hotfix patch for a bunch of memory leaks. So if you've sort of had that kind of thing where you've been like playing Cyrodiil for a couple of hours and then stuff just slowly gets a bit worse.
I know, 30 gig less. That's
happens
huge.
in trials too.
Yeah, trials slowly wind down, and
Leaking.
Yep. And VMA as well is another one where if you're in there for just that bit too long, like me, then it just starts to go a bit weird.
Yeah, it's
and
around
you're pretty
the
sure it's
2
not
hour mark, I
you,
find.
though it could be. So no, so Evil Citizens 30 gig less. So
but they
it'll still be.
How big is it currently?
55. It's like 85 or
It's
something.
80 gigs right now. So you're talking
like
like
half
still
of
I
my
realized it
Xbox,
was taking up that much space.
Like
Jeez.
legit.
So one thing with the downloads, everybody will have to download again. You will get a free red torchbug pet, which is good.
Yes, the Merlin one.
If like we're still in Australia, not everybody has NBN, and not everybody has a big download limit. if you physically know somebody nearby, you can literally download ESO on one computer, copy it onto like a big USB disk, and literally sneak a net and then copy it back onto the same spot. There's no
What?
registry installs. Yeah, you literally can copy it from one hard drive to another hard drive.
I do that
So if
all
you
the time.
physically know somebody, yeah, I do too. I take backups of the ESO and move it onto other computers.
Well, I'm
and stuff,
coming over, Daku.
Actually, there was one of
So
the
you
viewers
can
in
do it
my
that way.
channel was trying to download ESO from uni, and their proxy was blocking it. So I gave him a separate URL that I set up, and I zipped it up and put it there and let him download it from my URL, which was not blocked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, so you can do that. So that's another option, is if you have access to fast internet somewhere else, or
much
like a
technology.
decent speeds. Yeah, you can literally download the whole thing onto a hard drive, big USB key, something, plug it in.
All your
copy back onto
customizations that are specific to you go under your Documents/Elder Scrolls folder. They don't go into the base game directory.
And there's no actual installs. There's no registry settings. It all just runs from that directory, basically. So you can just copy the whole directory. So the other thing you can do, you can actually split, which is what I've had to do. I've had to split up my PTS and main games. The main game's on the C drive, and the PTS is over on the D drive because they're out of space because it got too big. So you can do that as well. So
yeah, I have them both on C, but I use junction points to
How are
point to
you?
two different drives for PTS, and I have
Oh,
ESO on a dedicated SSD. That's how dedicated I am.
So yeah, so that is coming. So not so PTS Monday Australian time, Monday probably. So probably available on Tuesday.
That's Harrowstorm, right?
That's Harrowstorm, so that's
Yep.
the Q1 dungeon DLC. So look for the patch notes on Monday evening, possibly Tuesday. We will totally do PTS Mish. Probably, I don't know, we'll have to talk. So I don't know if it'll be next week. But it'd definitely be the week after. But we'll see. Yeah, we'll talk availabilities and we'll work out
Unholy Grave.
when. Yep. So if nothing else, we'll probably have. I don't know if we'll start doing dungeons straight away. We might have another chat about the changes in the PTS, depending on how big they are. So, and also it'll depend on how long it takes to download, because I am assuming that the PTS they'll actually test delete the whole thing, download it all from scratch.
Yay.
So,
yep.
Rip
Hello,
our
Miss Phoebe.
Aussies. We're going to suck. At least I will anyway.
It'll be interesting. Yeah, interesting to see what we've got coming for
Yeah,
the new
that's the first
Dark
thing.
Heart of Skyrim.
I'll need to be testing my add-ons. That's the problem. Once you publish an add-on, you got to keep it up to date.
Yep, that's right.
Add-on Master 64. I wouldn't know how to start to make an add-on.
No, it's like one of those things like, oh, you'd totally pick it up, Angry. Be fine. Daku would teach you anyway.
Yeah, I'll
if you
show
want
you.
an idea for
Teach
one.
me, senpai.
I'll do it on stream. I've put the little code up before and showed people how it
Oh,
works.
that'd be a good idea. Yeah, absolutely. But does chat have any other questions for us about anything that they saw that they would like to get other people's opinions on, or any other questions about any other Tamriel Downunder stuff? Ask away.
I did see Noel actually said something a little bit back. Let me just try to find it. Saying that we should push Bethesda to do something similar to what they're doing in America right now with the plunge thing.
I thought that was like, I thought Johnny had already kind of volunteered himself to actually
do that,
do the plunge.
Oh,
So
shit.
there was a tweet between him and Pete Hines where he was getting dobbed in for that. So
Interesting.
Well,
could be already underway.
we should definitely
I'm
put
sure
our
that we
hands
can
up.
do our part to encourage that to happen.
Yep.
I'm sure that we can do our part.
So just so I'm aware, snow bear plunges, you go down a slide into a bucket of ice water, is it?
I think
it's kind of like the big freeze at the G, I'm pretty sure. How they do it.
I think it's like literally you jumping into a frozen lake. Like full on.
It definitely involves jumping off a bridge in a Nordic bathing towel.
Okay.
I've done it. I've done it many times. For those bloody event tickets.
He hasn't, so feel free to push him. All right, we're pushing.
We shall
Okay.
do something along
An
those
Australian
lines.
version.
Australian
he's swimming
version
in a
would
frozen
be
lake.
Yeah, we don't have.
filling it with beer
Just
and just
like-
to make it extra cold.
Oh, just have like a kiddie pool, just like a little slide in a kiddie.
Yeah, one of those $10 Kmart blow up pools.
Yeah, and just have like the floaties in there too.
Oh my god. Okay, I
Oh.
think we should both make sure that Noel that Johnny does the full thing, but also we should convince the Bethesda office just to do like an on-stream Australian version. Yeah, with a kiddie pool and a couple of buckets of ice.
Get on one of those
Yes.
little plastic slides into one of those, and it's got a few tinnies floating in there.
PAX Oz this year.
Oh, yes, done. Oh my god, that would be
We're gonna do something just outside of the convention center. It's gonna be
not
the whole
us.
thing.
Not us. No. Official Bethesda reps. It's not us.
Matt will do
yeah.
it.
Sorry, Matt will do
I'll
it.
do it.
Be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. In my budgie smugglers.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting to do it too. Not
Represent.
in my budget.
Make sure it's got the TDU logo right on the front there.
Mm,
Oh, I need
on
some
the back.
TDU
And the back,
speedos.
2 on the back.
Mhm. Oh god.
On the
What are we gonna
backs, all
PAX
our
Oz this year?
faces.
This is the selling point. Get your tickets now.
Yes.
Not really.
Anyway, did you
think
have
we
any
should
more
do something
questions
like that.
apart from how soon can we get Map into a frozen pool of ice?
The TDU plunge. That sounds pretty good.
No. I
No.
don't think it quite works that way, Noel. Thanks.
I've gone swimming
I
when it was
agree.
10 degrees in the ocean.
I
Is
agree,
that straight? Does
Noel,
that
I
count?
agree.
Mark thinks that way too.
I'll supervise.
Where's your
We need
TDU
merch
from?
apparently now. Budgie smugglers with the TDU logo on it.
TDU thongs. Oh my god.
Like thongs in like footwear, right? We're talking footwear.
Definitely, we're definitely
Flip-flops.
talking flip flops.
Exactly. We're
Flip-flops.
talking flip flops. Yes, completely. Yes.
I'm so down for anything though. You know me.
Oh god. Yep.
Man, I got a freaking tattoo for
Mhm.
fuck's sake.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
I flew my ass up to Sydney
Well,
to go
hey,
and get a
hold on.
H2 tattoo.
Just one.
He's like, here's a TDU thing I prepared earlier.
Oh, the
What happened?
maps. Yeah.
Oh,
We would have all
Yes,
got one of
The dark
these.
heart
And
of Skyrim map.
and-
Yes.
did you guys also get, where is it on the camera? I'm going that way. Up there. That's a card.
tin?
It's a card with a dragon on it right there. Angry Wolf got one the
Yes.
other day.
Yes.
It
I got one,
they
like,
posted
legit,
it on the
like,
19th
yesterday.
of December. It got here today.
Made
a
it to
month
Australia.
later. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, postage to Australia. Yes.
So now that we
Well, with
Um,
the
but
other
You
thing
look
that
at
we got
these
with
again.
Sahan, that was expressed by FedEx, and they came in like what 2 days at least. You reckon?
pretty
I
quick.
don't know.
These
Yeah, it was
came
really
pretty quick. But I mean, you know, we've got some little symbols here. All of them could qualify for a tattoo. So yeah.
I really want to get like the actual.
Oh, the little wolf face with the.
Yes,
thing.
the actual emblem.
Oh,
So we could do
angry
something along the
Judas.
lines of that. Maybe we can do something with that.
Yeah.
I'm down to get one.
So I've bought a frame for this, and because Miss Fiji's got her diploma and her degree up on the wall, I'm putting this up. That's my achievement.
Okay, that's
Actually,
good.
right next
I'm
to
glad, Daku.
Aw.
As long as Miss Fiji's is up a little higher, that's all.
Oh yeah, they're up high.
Anyway, I think we might wrap this up now because Map has places to be as well because it's a lot earlier where he is as well. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We're all super looking forward to the new Dark Heart of Skyrim content that's coming soon. We will keep an eye on the Tamriel Downunder socials and all of our personal socials as well for the next stream. Also, thanks to everybody who's followed because we've got a whole bunch of followers recently. Thanks, Matt.
He bent down to get them. I don't
and
know what
thanks to
happened. Just
everybody
then.
who did. Thanks to everybody who followed tonight as well. We really appreciate it.
And everyone who
Though
donated as well. I
Yeah,
don't know
and
if you
everybody who
mentioned that.
donated as well. So we'll probably have the donation for koalas, the koala crew running when we stream next time as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, we do have a 1500 crown code that will unlock when we reach the target. So
Mhm.
come
I'll
join
be
us
using
again.
that same link as well for my streams too because it got
Mhm.
extended.
Yep.
Cool,
Which is
awesome.
lit.
Awesome.
Yep. So thank you, everybody. Let us know if you have any other questions. We can certainly try and find some answers for you.
You can add us on Twitter as well.
Yes, you will
Get
have
me out of
seen
Follow us
the
on our
links
socials.
popping through. Do follow us on our personal channels as well. Certainly, we'll be streaming on the PTS individually as well as a team, and there will be drops almost certainly on the PTS when it's out on Tuesday Australian time. So, thank you, everybody.
Yes.
It was great to see you all again. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Mhm.
Bye bye. Have a great day, night, whatever you're doing. We'll see you next time around.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye
Bye.
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 Bye.